It was pretty significant differences that we seen. It was kind of eye-opening.
Biologicals are a driving force in agriculture's mission to feed a growing population while protecting environmental resources. But does the data-backed science lead to performance? Join NewLeaf Symbiotics on a journey that demonstrates whether their unique biological PPFM technology moves beyond potential and promise to proof of impact on the acre. This is the Pink Performance Tour.
Hi Kevin, thanks so much for having us out here in Dubois.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming down.
Can you tell me a little bit of history of your operation here?
Farm with me and my wife, family farm. So we raise corn, soybeans, and turkeys. We're competitive in yield contests, and you know, yeah, that's fine and dandy, but the main thing is to make money on our production acres.
So tell me how you laid out this trial.
So we actually planted 48 rows of your biostimulant and biofungicide side by side to our standard practice.
Fantastic. So you've got our corn biostimulant and our EPA-registered biofungicide TS601, and especially in the bottom ground, right? Lots of moisture this season so far, shaping up to be a good test.
Yes,
right.
Yeah. So we're kind of like a lot of the corn belt east of the Mississippi. A lot of rain. Now we're getting the heat, so perfect weather for diseases to form. Hopefully not tar spot.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's going to be a good test to see how it does on some of these diseases around here.
All right, let's go check out the trial.
All right. So I'm glad that you come down here. We actually have your trial down here on your biofungicide. Kind of a perfect place this year. We've had rain.
So much rain, yeah.
As you could tell, corn looks pretty good. This was planted May 16th. You know, this side over here, we got 48 rows that's treated with it. And here's the check, and you can just see just on the stalk diameter, pretty significant difference. And
height too, right?
Yeah. So, you know, farmers know that this don't 100% all the time equal yield, but I would probably take my bets on the bigger stalk, bigger leaves. We've tried a lot of products on our farm over the years, you know, promising this, promising that, and but visually, this is probably the most significant visual that we've ever seen on corn size, stalk diameter. So I'm excited about it.
All right, well, I'm excited too. And this is bottomland, right? So you said you do have some fungal disease pressure here. What are your biggest yield constraints?
So our biggest, the last 3-4 years, we've been battling tar spot.
Yeah.
Southern rust, you know, can be every other year. We see southern rust, but tar spot's kind of been the big pain in the butt lately. So it's kind of interesting because, you know, if it comes in early, the tar spot is just such a long growing season that it, you know, if we would have to spray this corn now, you know, the fungicides itself would run out by the time we get to black layer. So
yeah. And also, in addition to the stalk diameter differences we're seeing and the height, you did some early stand counts, right? Talk me through some of what you saw there.
So when we did a stand count on this, you know, side by sides, we marked off 12 rows, 17.5 feet, which equals 1/1000th of an acre. But we did all 12 rows on the planter. I kind of have a rule of thumb that what we go by, if we have more than 2 plants per 17.5 feet, you know, we kind of just, well, it's going to be good corn, but it's not going to be our top corn. So we kind of change our management a little bit. But the interesting thing was we were at 0.5% on the treated compared to about 3% total.
So that didn't germinate on the right.
That was not up within 5 GDUs. Not days, it was within 5 GDUs. So that's about as perfect emergence that you can get.
Fantastic. Okay, well that's a lot of exciting things happening so far in this field. I want to look at the roots. Let's go dig some. I mean, with this biomass difference, I'm really curious to see what the roots look like. So we're here in the grower standard practice part of the field, and we're gonna dig some roots and see what they look like. Got beautiful soil here.
We do kind of try to concentrate on soil health. You know, this field here, well, basically our whole farm has not seen dry fertilizer in 30 plus years. From the management of the biology, I think over the years that the ground just stays soft. You know, and I think it's a lot to do with just our basic principles of, you know, trying to help soil biology do whatever it takes to get the most biology that we can. Pretty good water roots in there.
Yeah. Great fine root development. All right, let's go check out the corn biostimulant and the EPA-registered biofungicide TS601.
Oh, yes.
Let's check them out and see what they look like. Okay, so we're here in the treated side of the trial. We've got NewLeaf's corn biostimulant along with our new EPA-registered biofungicide TS601. We're really excited to see what these roots look like. Okay, excellent. We didn't leave behind too much, that was great. I think we got the whole root ball there.
Got a lot of them.
You notice any differences just looking at the side there?
Well, I just know by picking it up, it was 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah, I'm definitely
see,
seeing more fine roots, right?
Yes.
Those white, just gleaming ones.
Yep.
Gorgeous, let's dig a couple more.
So you can see a lot of the fresh new roots growing. The white, that's new root growth. So we were down in the field. This is the neat thing, we get to come up, dissect them. We measured the length of the plant, the circumference of the plant. We measured the leaves. We took 6 plants up of each, 6 treated, 6 untreated, and it was pretty significant differences that we seen. It was kind of eye-opening of what we seen.
What stands out to you first?
So what really stuck out to me right when we walked in it, I mean, right when you come into the field, you could already see visually that the treated was a lot bigger, you know, diameter. You know, the height was, you know, I don't know, just looking at them side by side, looked like 6-8 inches taller, but you know, that don't get me all gooey feeling inside. It's the stalk diameter, what we're after. And then when we actually walked into the field, you know, the leaf size, you know, I think that was the first thing once we started walking in there. I said, man, these leaves look a lot bigger. And I think they ended up, I think the measurements were about 1/2 inch average, which is huge.
I'm so glad you noticed that, because I wouldn't have even noticed, right? You said, I think the leaves are actually wider. Yeah. I mean, that's more surface area, right? Yeah. That's more photosynthetic, like solar panel.
So you know, I mean, you know, one thing in farming that don't always equate to yield.
Right.
But, you know, if you got bigger roots, bigger stalk diameter, bigger plant to feed that ear, that's what we're trying to build. The biggest factory is what we can. I'm taking the bet that the bigger plant will outdo the smaller untreated plant.
And now standability is important to you. You don't really have corn rootworm pressure, even though this is 35 years of corn on corn, but you do have a lot of wind events.
Yeah.
And very loamy soil. So even without corn rootworm damage to roots, that's something you kind of have to look out for, right?
So that is our biggest issue we have on the farm, truthfully. I mean, the diseases we've been able to manage. We just can't manage wind events.
So let's flip these over and stare at the roots and get your impressions here.
So the fertility is the same. The only difference is this has the biostimulant and the biofungicide in it. This is our standard practice, which our standard practice is still pretty good management.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
it don't have the good stuff in it, the stimulant and the fungicide. So as you can just see, you know, root mass, you know that we run 2x2, so the roots are kind of at an angle following the 2x2.
Oh yeah, I see that.
But
yeah.
but the interesting is just look how many more nodal roots that we have.
All this.
You know,
and deeper, right?
and way deeper down through here, all the way across. So I'm just guessing nodal roots, we got 3 times the nodal roots than what we had on the untreated.
Great, so we'll check in later in the season and see how things are doing. Would love to see how this shapes up prior to harvest, and of course harvest, right?
Yeah,
Where we'll really see if we can move the dial on yield.
Yeah, this is, yeah, I can't wait. I mean, you know, harvest is actually moving along. You know, we had such a hot last 10 days, you know, today ain't too bad, but you know, we're speeding up on GDUs pretty rapidly, so I think we're going to get our results pretty quick.
Okay, we'll mark our calendar.
All right, can't wait.